recording. Thank you to everyone who has joined tonight. This is our launch webinar for the Digital Africa Plantation Counting Challenge. This challenge, sorry. This challenge has been a long time in the making, and we're really excited to see it live. There are a lot of French speakers in this challenge and on the Zoom call. If you have a question and you would like to ask it in French, please unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, put it in the chat and one of our French speakers will respond. The order of today, we're going to have Inyat from a data scientist at Digital Africa, who will introduce the challenge. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Bello from BNETD, one of the sponsors. Next, we'll hear from Kareem, the CEO of Investive, and we'll also hear from Isof, who will run through the tutorial notebook. He is a computer vision researcher at Data 354. We'll end the session with a Q&A. And yeah, I'd like to introduce you and give you the, over to you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Inayat, work as a data scientist in Digital Africa. And we are very happy to launch this hackathon, this first hackathon for Digital Africa. And I would like to thank all the partners who have contributed to this project. It has been an amazing project, so we are very excited to launch it. And I'm going to give you some context to this hackathon. I'm going to show you my screen. All right. So welcome to this Data for Digital Africa project, first hackathon, sorry. I'm going to give you some short introduction to who is Digital Africa, who we are. And then we're going to dive into the Data for Digital Africa project, how we conducted this project to come into this first hackathon. So Digital Africa is act as a catalyst. Our main goal is to foster inclusive development through digital innovation in Africa. One of our main goal, finally, is to equip African and tech entrepreneurs in their capabilities to design and scale digital innovation for the real economy. On your right, you have the QR code that can give you an overview of our roadmap for the next coming years. You can have an overview of our programs. So please scan the QR code to access our white paper. Just to give you the macro view of Digital Africa, we are split into between three pillars. The first pillar is related to capacity building. So we have all of our programs related to capacity building on this first pillar. On the second pillar, we are programs related to finance. The third one is about research, and we have umbrella activities that are programs transversal to all the programs in Digital Africa, and that supports Digital Africa initiative. What we aim to do is to give via these programs is to give the opportunities to everyone to learn, to be financed, to scale, and have the opportunities to develop themselves and develop their business through all of these pillars. We have the capacity building, finance, and research, and we want to give everyone the opportunities to develop themselves. I'm going to dive into the Data for Digital Africa project, which is where you can find the hackathons. The hackathon is a block, a pillar of this project. And I'm going to give you the macro view of Data for Digital Africa project. Data for Digital Africa is basically an open data infrastructure that aims to make data accessible to African startups. So here we are talking about the hackathons, but the hackathons is just one step of this project. And the end of this project is to have an open data platform with access to data and access to models, so that everyone can plug into this open data infrastructure and test its model and develop its model. So our goals by this open data infrastructure is to reduce the cost of access to data. And I told you before, these open data infrastructures aim to let everyone access to this data, test and operate models. Our main targets are African tech entrepreneurs, tech startups, from ideation to pre-series B, but we are targeting broadly African developers and African youth. I mean, students who can just access data and learn data science with this data. And at the end, the impact we want to have is to provide tools and opportunities to grow their companies into high impact innovation for the real economy. So at the end, with the open data infrastructure, you are startups and you want to access a data sets provided by an African actors. You can access for free these data sets, and you also have access to models made available online on this Data for Digital Africa platform. I'm going to give you a short presentation of the project methodology. Sorry. So we have 3 steps in this project. We have a collaborative private space, which is the place where we organize workshops together, bring together startups, agri-tech, farmers to identify the business problems that can be solved with data science. And then we have the hackathon, the steps on which we gather the community of data scientists to solve this business problem. And at the end, the competitive public space, which is basically the open data space where you can find all the models and the best models from the hackathon and the data used in the hackathon. How did we come to this hackathon on this project? I'm going to give you the 6 steps on this project that lead us now to this that bring us to this hackathon. Sorry. First of all, we organized workshops between startups, agricultural experts, farmers. We bring together all these people to identify business problems that can be solved with data science. Then we had one of our main partners, Investive, who gave us a data sets of drone images. So Investive basically has a fleet of drones. It's an agri-tech in Ivory Coast, and they were part of the workshop steps, and they are the data provider for this hackathon. So we have around 3,000 drone images from 4 parcels in Côte d'Ivoire. And after the data collection, we had the labeling concerning this data. So I told you about there were 3,000 images on this hackathon. Then we had to label this data. So Zindi worked on this labeling, and they perform the labeling manually. Sorry. Then we had the validation step. We had to validate the data sets and the baseline model, which is basically a proof of concept of the feasibility of the hackathons. That was a work done by Data 354, and after Yusuf can dive more into the technical part of this baseline model. Then we have the hackathons where we want to bring together a community of data scientists, regardless of the level of experience. So we can have beginners, experts attending this hackathon. So the aim is to solve the business problem identified earlier, and obviously we reward the best project. And at the end, when the hackathon ends, we make the data and the models available on our D4GA open data platform. Let's talk now about the hackathon. So the challenge of this hackathon is to count the number of palm trees on drone images using computer vision algorithm. So basically, we want you to build a machine learning model or deep learning model that can help the future startups, the future users of these models to increase their productivity in their daily work. So this challenge is one of the first business problems we identify during the workshops, thanks to all our partners. So you have to count the number of palm trees on drone images. So on your right, you can see a sample of drone images provided by Investive, and you have all of these squares which means basically that a computer vision algorithms scan the image, and then you can identify the palm trees on these drone images and then count them per image. Some information about the hackathons. So the hackathon started yesterday, and it will last 1 month and a half. It will end the Sunday, the 9th of April. It's an online challenge open to all. I told you before, regardless of your experience level. We have around 3,000 drone images, and we just recently launched our Discord channels, the Digital Africa Discord channels. So please join our community. You will see the Discord as a city. So you will find here the data avenue, and you will find some channels related to the hackathon, and it's an opportunity for you to meet the other data scientists, the other challengers, and there you can share your tips, share helps, and find the other opportunities provided by Digital Africa. We have a cash prize. We decided for this hackathon to reward the first man and the first woman with the same cash prize. And as the pilot is in Ivory Coast, we decided to reward the first person from Ivory Coast. Thank you for this presentation. I just want to have a word for all of our partners. I would like to thank everyone, all the partners who contributed to this project. So Bennett, Investi, Data354, and Zindi, who were part on this project. And I will let the mic to the other speakers.
Thank you so much, Inyat. If you've got any questions, please can you put them in the chat? Otherwise, we can ask Inyat at the end of the webinar. I'd like to introduce Mr. Bello. He's going to expand on the importance of this challenge. Over to you, Mr. Bello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you and see your slides.
Okay, sorry. So my name is Bello Ajadi, and I'm calling from Côte d'Ivoire, Bennett, B-N-E-T-D in English. So let me present you the importance of this challenge for Côte d'Ivoire and for Bennett. So I will briefly present Bennett, and after that, I will show you the importance of this hackathon for Côte d'Ivoire and for Bennett. So Bennett stands for Bureau National d'études techniques et de développement. It's in Ivory Coast. It's a design office created to contribute to the development of Ivory Coast and the African countries in which it is present. Our main missions are monitoring and control of projects, research and design, assistance and advisory. We have 6 mainly expertise domains: transport, infrastructure and environment, buildings and land use planning, agriculture, geographical and digital information, economy, finances and industry. We also have an innovation center and a training center. Bennett is almost 1.5 thousand employees, more than 43 years of experience, 200 projects per year, 16 countries covered in West and Central Africa. So Chad, Cameroon, Republic of Congo, Guinea, Gabon. So now, what is the importance of this challenge for Côte d'Ivoire? But let's start by saying some key figures for Côte d'Ivoire in the oil palm trees sectors. Côte d'Ivoire is the second largest producer in Africa of palm oil, the seventh in the world. We have 250,000 hectares of plantation, 600,000 tons of oil, 70 oil palm processing units, but we have also several small processing units. Côte d'Ivoire is also 200,000 regular jobs, but almost 2 million people are living from oil palm trees economy, and it represents 2% of the GDP of Côte d'Ivoire. What are the challenges for Côte d'Ivoire? It's important for a country like Côte d'Ivoire to have some yield prediction improvement based on this culture, because we just see that it's very important for our economy. We're facing climate change issues where palm oil and deforestation are sometimes linked. Côte d'Ivoire is engaged in climate smart agriculture program. We also have some international complaints on palm oil impact on biodiversity. And Côte d'Ivoire is engaged in some international initiatives linked to forest protection. So we have Red Plus, TFA, Tropical Forest Alliance, and also RSPO. RSPO is a roundtable about sustainable palm oil. And one of the main principles of this RSPO are to plant responsibly new plantation of palm oil. It's also about transparency. So for all this challenge and for the importance of the palm oil trees in our economy, it's important for a country like Côte d'Ivoire to have up-to-date data on oil palm plantation. So such competition which will provide us with technological tools will help us make decisions and will be very helpful for Côte d'Ivoire in general, but especially for Benet, which is at the heart of the country's development in all sectors and specifically in agriculture. That was the brief presentation of Benet and what will be the importance of such competition for Côte d'Ivoire. And I will be happy to answer your question if you need some further information about our work, the impact of such competition, our daily work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was really interesting to hear those statistics about Côte d'Ivoire. I'd like to hand over to Kareem, the CEO of Investive, to hear more about the data.
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, so my name is Karim Aboubakar. I'm the CEO and founder of Investive. So we participate in this challenge with the data collection. So I will introduce Investive to you, and then I will explain the context in what we have worked in order to collect those data. And after, I will share the methodology we use, and I will also open the reflection for other kind of challenges we can have in the future. So first, Investive is a startup based in Ivory Coast, specialized in drone services in agriculture and training in drone technology. So our mission is to empower farmers, cooperative and agribusinesses with technological tools in order to revolutionize African agriculture. And our vision is to take African agriculture to the next level with drone and precision agriculture methods. So the context of this data collection is, as Mr. Bello said before me, palm oil is one of the main economic crop and one of the larger percentage of the plantation in Côte d'Ivoire. And more than 80% of those plantations are owned by private individuals categorized as small and medium scale farmers. So one of the common activities on those plantations is to estimate yield by counting the plants. But now, usually they do it manually, and it's bring a lot of errors. So this information is vital, and since we do a lot of mapping for our different customers, we found a really good interest in this challenge in order to help African startups and in particularly in Ivory Coast in order to help us to have the right methodology to do the plant counting. So so we collected in total 3,500 images. We covered 1,200 hectares, and we use two kinds of drone. So the DJI Matrix 200 LCK and the Parrot EB with the SODA sensors. And after the data collection, the images was provided by us in orthophoto in TIFF format, and in this with those kind of file, we divided the orthophoto in many different images in order to create labeling to do the labeling. So this was our contribution in this so for the future, it will be important to us also to have those kind of application in banana production. This is also one of the larger crops in Côte d'Ivoire. And also, if we want to go further, we can also go on to cotton flower identification, which is a bigger challenge, more than plant counting, because it's about like flower identification, and in one crop you can have like many flower at different level of the crop. So this is also a thing, a reflection and a brainstorming maybe we can have in the future. So this is I want to say thank you very much for this opportunity you gave us to contribute to this activity.
Great, thank you so much, Karim. Isaf, I've got the starter notebook in front of me. Would you like me to share it, or do you want to try to share your screen?
Hello, Amy. I will share it.
Hi. Brilliant.
Okay.
Karim, could you stop sharing your screen, please?
Okay.
Do you see my screen, please?
I do. Has it got 5 slides on it? Yes.
Amy, do you see my screen?
I can see someone's screen. It's got the image of the trees on the left, drone data collection on palm trees and festive, but it looks like it's Kareem's old screen.
My screen is a baseline model presentation.
I'm still seeing Kareem's old one. Could you stop sharing and share again?
Yeah,
Oh, you can see the notebook.
see the
It's
notebook.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Isaf, go ahead. Others can see the notebook. Must be something on my end.
Hello?
Hi, Isaf, you can start presenting. We can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. My name is Touré Souf. I'm data scientist at Data 354. And today I will present you the baseline that we realized for this hackathon. Before to start, let me note that the oil palm is one of the most important crops in Ivory Coast, which occupies respectively the 7th place in the world and the 2nd place in Africa behind Nigeria. For this hackathon, the objective is to create a machine learning algorithm that will be capable to count the number of palm trees in an image. So let's go to the presentation of the baseline. In here, we import all the library that we will use for the realize our model. Also, after that, we fix the seed for the reproducibility of our model. And also after that, we import all the files that we will use for our model for the training and testing. For the baseline, we have decided to realize two models. The first model is a linear network, and the second is based on ResNet 34 that we are fine-tuning. Before to realize our model, we have divided our train data set in the train set and test set. For the train set, we have taken 80% of our data, and for the test, we have taken 50% for the testing. After that, we have created our data loader. The importance of data loader allows us to take and sequentially our data to train our deep learning models. After the creation of the data loader, we realize the basic network is just a simple linear network that we created. And this part permits us to initialize our different weights of our models. Then we define our training function. This function, for that, we have initialized different parameters, and we're training the model in different epochs that we have choose after. This part permits us to use the GPU of Colab that for training very speed our models. After that, we training our different models. For the first model that we have created, there are different RMS error After this model, we have created another model is based on the ResNet model that we have fine-tuned. We cannot at this point that the ResNet model is better than the simple network, linear network that we have created. After realize our model, we can do now the prediction. For the prediction, we use our model that we have realized to make some prediction of the different data sets of the test. After that, we create our submission data frame that we can see that. And after we can save these on our space of work on our drive. I think that is all for me. Thank you for listening.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Isof.
Okay.
This notebook is available on the challenge. So if you go onto the link that's in the chat, you can sign up. If you go to the data section, you'll see the starter notebook there. If you run it, it will give you that baseline submission, and that's what you can submit. If you are confident in this and you feel like you can start without the starter notebook, then I encourage you to create your own notebook and go ahead. If this is your first time exploring Python and exploring computer vision, then starting with the notebook is a good idea. Just from Oswald, I noticed the tree images is very large. Is there no way that we'll be able to download directly to the laptop? To do so directly into Colab. Oswald, let me give this a think tonight, and I will put something on the discussion board tomorrow morning. We have found a way around this before, so I'll get back to you on the discussion board. I saw someone had their hand raised. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask the question? Yes, Oswald.
Okay, yeah. You've already answered the question. I was trying to ask because I noticed that the tree image file is very large, and sometimes it's difficult to just get it downloaded into your system. But I think there's a way in Cargo. There's a way you can do that straight up from Cargo, so you don't necessarily download it into your system. You just do that straight from Cargo to Colab. So I was trying to know if there's a way, but you've answered it already. So I'll be waiting for that on the discussion, maybe tomorrow, like you said.
Thank you for your question, Oswald. Yes, I will post something tomorrow. Would anyone like to unmute themselves and ask a question or put one in the chat? This is our first, it's our second, but it's our first of this nature of counting. It's a really difficult challenge, so I wish everyone luck. Our favorite saying at Zindi is that there's no losing, only learning. So I really encourage you to make a submission, post on the discussion board. We all started somewhere, so please ask your silly questions because likelihood that someone else has that question is very high. I encourage you to team up. The best way to learn is from one another. And to reiterate the prizes, there's a $4,000 prize for the top male or the majority male team. a $4,000 prize for the top female or majority female team, and a $2,000 prize for the top Ivorian. I'm going to stop recording. So if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to ask them off air.